What is wisdom? Is it intelligence? Is it education? Is it experience? The world often measures wisdom by knowledge, success, or achievements, but the Lord Almighty teaches us something deeper. The scripture says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." True wisdom begins when we recognize who the Lord Almighty is. He is the creator of heaven and earth. He sees the beginning and the end. His understanding is perfect, and his ways are higher than our ways. Wisdom is not simply knowing many things. Wisdom is knowing God to live accordingly. Wisdom is knowing God to live according to the will of the Lord Almighty. A person may have great knowledge and still make foolish choices. But a person who seeks the Lord Almighty and walks in his ways is growing in true wisdom. The book of Proverbs speaks often about wisdom. It tells us to seek wisdom like treasure, to value it more than silver and gold, because wisdom protects us, guides us, and keeps us from many dangers. The Lord Almighty also warns us about foolishness. Foolishness is not merely a lack of intelligence. It is choosing our way while ignoring His truth. It is hearing His word but refusing to obey it. It is trusting our own understanding while rejecting His guidance. But the Lord Almighty gives a wonderful promise. The scripture says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously to all without finding fault." The Lord Almighty is willing to give wisdom to those who seek Him with humble hearts. How do we grow in wisdom? We grow in wisdom by reading His Word, by praying, by listening to wise counsel, by learning from our mistakes, and by obeying what the Lord Almighty teaches us. Wisdom also shapes how we speak. A wise person is careful with words, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Wisdom teaches patience instead of pride, humility instead of arrogance, truth instead of deception. The greatest example of wisdom is found in Jesus Christ. He spoke with wisdom that amazed people. He lived perfectly according to the will of the Lord Almighty, and through Him we can learn from how to walk in truth. In a world full of confusion, changing opinions, and endless voices, we need wisdom more than ever. Not merely human wisdom, but wisdom that comes from above. So ask yourself today, am I relying on my own understanding, or am I seeking the wisdom of the Lord Almighty? Seek His truth, study His word, pray for understanding, and trust Him to guide your steps, because true wisdom does not begin with human knowledge. It begins with reverence for the Lord Almighty, and those who walk in His wisdom will find guidance, peace, and understanding. May the Lord Almighty fill your hearts with wisdom, guide your decisions, and lead you in paths of righteousness all the days of your life. Thank you for watching. God bless.